fact, the 20th day of the month of December. Good morning to your Grenada, Caribbean, Martinique, the rest of the Eastern Caribbean. It is Monday. The countdown is literally on. It's just a matter of days away till we started singing that cheerful song where we're all trying to be happy because it is Christmas. It's a feeling, it's a certain feeling there is in the air when that season comes around. We've waited for it for so long. Now, it is just a matter of days away. Wherever we are, wherever you are, we say good morning, good afternoon, good night to you, depending on which part of the diaspora you are. Those of you here at home across the region, wherever you are, it is a really wonderful, a terrific, really spirit-filled Monday morning. And indeed, we say thanks to your choosing. It is a choice you've made, and that we appreciate. To have awoken with classic in the morning time. I'm Joseph Cadore, and I say thanks for being part of this experience, an experience of life, of love, and of living. Well, as you go through this day, we certainly hope that you're rested from the weekend, invigorated, and you're ready to fulfill the demands and asking of another great day in God's wonderful creation. Monday, the 20th day. And it is Christmas. We kickstart the day as we do every day, attempting to change our perspective in life and improve, increase on who we are. And today, the word of the day is venerate, and it is spelled V-E-N-E-R-A-T-E. V-E-N-E-R-A-T-E, and it is a verb, and venerate means to feel or to show deep respect and honor for someone or something. Volunteers of the Peace Corps are venerated for their selfless dedication and contribution. Yes, the word of the day, venerate. There is venerated, venerating, venerate. To regard with reverential respect or admiring deference, to honor as an icon, as a relic, etc. The word of the day, venerate, is a verb, and it is spelled V-E-N-E-R-A-T-E. That's the word of the day. As you go through, certainly hoping it helps to add to who you are as an individual. You know, at least you can say to yourself, you've added a new word to your vocabulary in the morning time. Well, COVID-wise, the last COVID update I saw was actually 3 days ago, and it said 0. For some reason, it's not as frequent as I've checked all my regular sources and I have not seen it at all. But let's certainly hope that we continue to play our part in doing that which we have to do, Grenada. Well, in case you missed it, great news, as we were anticipating that gasoline price and diesel price, as well as kerosene, the price change became effective the 18th, which is on Saturday. And so for those of you who probably missed it and you haven't quite figured it out as yet, and gasoline, the old price, $17.24. It is now capped as promised at $15. Diesel is moved from its old price of $16. It is now $14.73. And kerosene, it moved from $10.34 to $9.40. Yes, so these are the new prices as was promised. The 20-pound cylinder of gas, yes, that has been capped for quite a while at $40, so that remains unchanged. If you're looking for the 100-pound cylinder though, it has actually moved downward. The old price, $234.95. It is now $220.30. So, indeed, there is something to smile about. something to actually smile about. In case you're wondering, when I did speak with the minister on the issue of the subject of the change in the gas prices, it isn't a change that is effective just for, in terms of the capping at $15. He did intimate that it remains there until advised by government institutes a change. So let's continue to pray and trust God that we continue to recognize the positive impacts on our pockets. Yes, ain't nothing wrong with that at all. What's the thought of the day as we keep our eyes on the clock? 18 minutes onto the hour in the morning time. I encourage you today to attract what you expect, reflect what you desire, become what you respect, and mirror what you admire. The thought of the day: attract what you expect in life, reflect what you desire, become what you respect, and mirror the things that you admire. The thought of the day, I always give you two, and there is another one to come for you. But before we do that, I'm going to give you, thank you, Master Control. It says, failure ends the moment you start pushing yourself to improve. So wherever you are in your life and you think you failed, you've not achieved, I say to you today that failure ends the moment you start pushing yourself to improve. Failure ends the moment you start pushing beyond your current disposition, beyond your current boundaries, beyond your current realities. That's when failure ends, and it's the start of success. Success is not a one-day accomplishment, but it's a journey. It's a pursuit of excellence, but it starts with you. It starts with you. Well, you also get a health tip of the day, and today we look at a blood builder smoothie, and here's the ingredients for it. Boy, I should have had this morning, but unfortunately, that's not the case. What I do have, though, I'm going to get some cinnamon. I have some cinnamon stats that is actually there steeping, so I can have later on. So, a bodybuilder smoothie this morning: 1 banana, you have orange peel, you have a tablespoon of hemp protein, you have ground flaxseed, clove, a tablespoon of pumpkin seed, and 2 cups of cold water. Put all the ingredients into your blender and blend it well and shake, and you have yourself a really wonderful smoothie there in the morning time. You don't have to necessarily be a bodybuilder, just add something that is nutritious and substantial to your body. Maybe if you don't have the hemp protein, you don't need that, because if you're a bodybuilder, but probably just maybe just some regular milk. Yes, almond milk, and you mix that in there. Believe me, you are good to go in the morning time. Not sure what is it you're fighting. What's the plan for the day? We had a really packed schedule for you. We are expecting the team from the Grenada Food and Nutrition Council. They're expecting to join us this morning. We're also expecting we keep bringing you an update, and the ships making calls to Port St. George today, and so give you an appreciation for what the day is going to be like downtown St. George. And additionally, we'll link up with the Just Cool Media team for Traffic Cam for today, Monday. Yes, that's the plan for the day. The morning edition comes up in just a bit, right here on Classic. For those of you that is on radio, we give you a repeat of some of the top stories from last weekend, which was in fact the Weekend Review. That comes up next on GBN Television and in Classic Radio. The Morning News edition, it is next.
A 60-year-old St. David resident remains unconscious at the General Hospital following a vehicular accident on Wednesday night. And in another incident, the police have denied reports that a man caught on camera fleeing the scene of an accident was due to a police chase. Christelina John has been speaking with the Community Relations Department's head on incidents and accidents that occurred this week.
Amateur video footage that circulated on social media Wednesday night showed a male individual laying on the ground motionless. Earlier today, police gave confirmation on what occurred. An adult male remains unconscious at the General Hospital following a vehicular accident on the Maurice Bishop Highway sometime Wednesday. According to police, the individual struck by an oncoming vehicle is believed to be in his 60s and resides at Westerhall, St. David. Head of the Community Relations Department, Assistant Superintendent of Police Trevor Rodney, spoke to GBN via Zoom on Friday.
Well, of course, we can confirm that an accident happened at the Maurice Bishop Highway on Wednesday evening, and with the vehicle was involved, a pedestrian was struck and is now in the hospital. In fact, he's now unconscious warded at the General Hospital. The preliminary investigation indicated that he would have stepped into the road while the vehicle was approaching, and of course he was struck. Now that would have to be investigated to see how that fits in with what is required of the driver on the road with respect to his manner of driving. And then you can make a justification or a decision as to whether he violated the rules of the road and whether and he can be charged for any offense.
No arrest has been made. However, according to police, they have been in conversation with the driver of the vehicle.
The driver has been spoken to by officers, and as the investigation continues, he would be dealt with as the investigation unfolds. He is cooperating with investigators.
In a separate incident, another amateur video that went viral on social media on Friday showed one vehicle in motion slamming into what appears to be a parked vehicle and the driver fleeing the scene shortly thereafter, and many assuming it was a police chase gone wrong. However, head of the Traffic Department, Superintendent Randy Connaught, dispelled this notion, saying it was not a police chase. He explained what happened.
At 7:05 this morning, the Traffic Department received a call regarding an accident which occurred on the Tempe Public Road. Officers responded to the scene. However, on arrival, the driver of the vehicle that was involved in the accident was nowhere to be found. And up to this point here this afternoon, we are still in search of that driver of the vehicle to assist us with investigations.
The driver remains the missing piece of the puzzle as police sound an appeal to the general public to assist with any information that can lead to the identity of the driver and the investigation into the incident.
Some degree of damage to that vehicle which was involved in the accident. I can tell you that currently the matter is under active investigation. There are quite a couple of unknowns regarding this accident, as we are yet to have any discussion or dialogue with the driver of the vehicle. He has since fled the scene, and we are in search of the driver of that vehicle. So I would want to also take this opportunity to make an appeal to the driver of the vehicle to turn himself into the Traffic Department to assist us with this ongoing investigation.
The vehicle, which was abandoned, was taken away by police. Christelina John, GBN News.
The question put forward by Agriculture and Fisheries Senator Roderick St. Clair is, where is the plan for food security? Gerard Joseph has that story.
Senator Roderick St. Clair says he's left wondering if food security needs to become an even more dire issue for serious and real action taken to finally address the issue. While calling for a National Committee on Food Security, Senator St. Clair notes that the Sustainable Development Plan purported to drive government's budget already speaks to what needs to be done.
Because the 2015-2030 National Agriculture Plan lay out the thing in such a way that it even give you an implementation matrix. I was shocked. I said, but wait. Down to the implementation matrix as to what to be done by when. For each of the different things, for food security, for export, for agro-processing. So then when I look at the Ministry of Agriculture plan, I look at the Fisheries plan, I wonder, well, what is the connection? Have they been reading this thing?
The senator says the government has broadly stated that the 2035 plan is included in their strategies and programs. It is found lacking in the actual documents.
So the impact that you want, we'll just keep wasting the money again. And then we say public servants, they don't get in output. But we tie up the thing. We tie it up.
Senator Sinclair says targeted food security plans within the budget must be the focus.
You may say, okay, these are the areas of focus. Poultry, pigs, beekeeping. You take 4 or 5 and say, this is what's going to fit in within our security plan. And then you get the GDB to coordinate that. You get the Ministry of Agriculture to provide the support, and you connect them to the market. 5 or 6 stakeholders, it could be done. So the government, so the GDB know the money is not wasted. The government know the money is not wasted. You know where they are selling, and there is that whole holistic network.
The Agriculture Senator impresses that building resilience via increased investments in the sector involving the diaspora is also covered in the 2035 agenda.
How do we get the diaspora to do all this funding and all these things? And so yesterday I hear my dear Senator sister speak about the diaspora, but I think that needs to come out more. And if it's not on the agenda, then we need to pull it out, because why is that 2035 plan? Certain things you could do now. Don't leave it for later. Let's do it now, because you create this sort of impact that you need downstream.
The senator has called for more detailed planning involving the 2035 Sustainable Development Agenda, while ensuring the public is made more aware of what the plan entails. I am Gerard Joseph for GBN News.
Meanwhile, private sector Senator Christopher Diali believes Grenadians do not want to eat what is grown locally, despite efforts to reduce inflation and the food import bill. Senator Diali says Grenada has become an inherent net importing country with an over 90% importation rate. Here's another report by Gerard Joseph.
From energy to food, private sector Senator Christopher Diali says Grenada has almost become solely dependent on imports. Senator Diali notes that it has reached a point that the consumption of imported products has become intrinsic to Grenadian culture.
And we import from yam to tomato to lettuce, even though we're growing it. We do it. And don't talk about the other stuff like cereals and so on and so forth. And the reality of it, we have been properly conditioned to eat those things. We don't eat roast corn and cornmeal and make cornmeal dumpling and grated corn and so on. We don't do that. You understand? We have been properly conditioned.
The senator believes that Grenada's net importing status is something that government cannot do anything about in terms of imported inflation. However, he says any reductions can easier be done in the livestock and fishing sectors.
Mr. President, I know last year going to Abato. I know your man is going to a market and so on. A pound of pork is $9 for a pound of pork. Sometimes 10 and 12. Right? And 9 is a special price. Yes. 10 and 12. Why? Because the feed is so expensive to mine pigs. And we have not done anything from a local standpoint.
The private sector senator reiterates that the feed prices disparity between Caribbean agro to other islands must be addressed.
It's cheaper than what is afforded to us in Caribbean agro.
I am Gerard Joseph for GBN News.
Senator Andrea Lewis says the link between the education system and the workforce is broken, which resulted in a deficiency of specialized areas in many sectors. Senator Lewis is calling for efficient planning when it comes to offering scholarships to address the issue. Rena Perez-Thomas tells us more.
Labour representative in the Senate, Andrea Lewis, says that over the years, Grenada has seen a gap between the workforce and the education system that needs to be addressed. He said that in many instances, individuals will receive scholarships to study only to return to Grenada to a job that is not aligned with their skills. Lewis, who was speaking in the Senate, is calling for better planning when it comes to offering scholarship opportunities to citizens.
Whenever we get scholarships, we need to ensure that the scholarships that we get engaged in are designed in such a way so that when our people come back, they can fit into that plan. This is where Labour wants to see us going. That will reduce unemployment. And in reducing unemployment, it also creates the avenue for unionization of workers as they look for representation.
Senator Lewis said between planning and investment in the country's human resource can result in the use of scholarships to build a circle of specialists in needed areas such as health. He also believes that creating attractive job offers to those who complete their scholarship will encourage persons to stay in Grenada.
It's an investment in the human people, the human resources. And there's absolutely nothing wrong in telling 4 or 5 people where you need highly specialized areas that you do not want people to get up like the nurses who are not made permanent, and the nurses have terrible working conditions, so they leave and they go. Let us invest in these highly specialized areas, guarantee these individuals that they will come back, get housing, get different allowances, make their life relatively comfortable so that they can stay here and serve the people.
More than $19 million in scholarship were awarded to Grenadian students in the year 2020. For GBN News, I am Rena Pett Thomas reporting.
The second of 2 hotels that were promised for St. David is now being realized. Thursday saw the signing of contract documents between range developers and Intercontinental Hotel Groups, introducing the Intercontinental brand to St. David and, by extension, Grenada. Chrislina John has this report.
Parliamentary Representative for St. David, Oliver Joseph, claims the coming on stream of hotels in what is called the Virgin Parish is one of his many campaign promises coming to fruition. Not 1, but 2 hotels in the same location. Lassages, St. David.
In my campaign, I promised 1. I say at least I will get 1 because we have none. So I say at least during my tenure, I would like to see a 5-star hotel come to St. David, just 1. And 1 came, and a lot of my friends reminded me of the campaign promise I made of getting a 5-star hotel in St. David's. And then with the announcement that Intercontinental coming to St. David's and the same location, Lassages, both hotels, with a beautiful beachfront and an ideal location.
Prime Minister Dr. Keith Mitchell says he is heartened to see divestment taking place in other parts of the country. The PM anticipates that the construction sector will be boosted further in the coming year.
When we are able to see initiative by friends of Grenada, like Mohammed and others, looking to other parts of the country, St. David's, Oliver is right. I did not think in my lifetime we'll see a major 5-star hotel, more so 2, in St. David's. That was not something you would have asked me if I had to predict. I would not have thought so. But it's so good to see this.
This new hotel is scheduled to start during the first quarter of 2022. Calling it an important milestone, Mohammed Asaria says they are happy to introduce Intercontinental brand to Grenada. Asaria promises to uphold the image of Intercontinental.
This announcement that Intercontinental is coming to Grenada is a display of confidence. It demonstrates our confidence in Grenada, its government, Grenada's tourism industry, Grenada's citizenship by investment offering. By reciprocity, it demonstrates Grenada's confidence in range as the government gives us the green light to proceed with our second hotel. We are trusted across the region, as Siobhan mentioned, because we deliver on our promise. No other developer in the CBI sector has opened even 1 hotel in the past decade through the CBI programs, and today we are embarking on our 4th.
He addressed one of the concerns raised at the inception of the Six Senses Hotel, which was public access to the beaches in the area.
Minister Joseph, I hope you will agree we have integrated into the St. David's community and become part of society. The community has full access to the beach and all the relevant facilities. Thank you for your welcome.
Six Senses Hotel will, according to him, be open within the next year and a half.
As pertain the Six Senses, already our pre-opening work streams are underway, and very early in the new year, our operations team will be on island, starting the opening wheel. The opening of Six Senses will be transformative for Grenada's tourism product, and the flag for the second tourism capital of Grenada will be planted in St. David's.
Christelina John, GBN News.
GBN is partnering with their corporate family to put a smile on many faces this Christmas season. The kickoff of its 'Tis the Season show not only gives viewers and listeners the chance to win many prizes, but to be entertained as well. Rena Perry-Thomas has this report.
Understanding the hardship and psychological strain COVID-19 placed on the Grenadian population, GBN, with the help of its corporate stakeholders, found a way to bring cheer this Christmas. This the Season is a family-oriented show that goes live daily on GBN from 10:30 a.m. to 12 noon. It not only keeps you up to date on the many giveaways and discounts offered by businesses in Grenada, but gives you the spirit of Christmas feeling. Marketing personnel at GBN and co-host of the show is Janelle McDonald.
Oh, we've been having a blast on 'Tis the Season. Our intent was to spread some cheer. We know it's been a difficult year for a lot of people in Grenada as we dealt with an upsurge in cases during the pandemic. So we wanted a program that was going to be cheerful and light and just airy. We know there are a lot of issues in Grenada. There are several programs that take care of those issues. This program was specifically designed, just to spread the Christmas cheer, talk about family, talk about our food, talk about our children, the different things that make the season so special.
Already running for 6 weeks, many were able to win prizes, including children. McDonald spoke about the many giveaways so far.
Everyday promotions are rolled out on the program that people can save some dollars while enjoying the best of the season. And people have won meats, they've won wines, they've won digital credit, they've won products from Duty Free Caribbean, from Ace Hardware, from all our partners. They're really giving back. From Country Cold Store. I said I don't want to call names because every day somebody's winning something. There's always something to be won on 'Tis the Season.
There is no Christmas without music and other entertainment. So here is a short taste of what you can enjoy daily on GBN, featuring the Royal Grenada Police Force Band. So if you are not part of 'Tis the Season yet, tune in daily to be entertained and win prizes as it runs until Christmas Eve. For GBN News, I am Rena Perry-Thomas reporting.
And let's get straight into tonight's GBN Entertainment, which is a continuation from last week on how some local soca artists are sticking their mark on the international arena. Their music was integrated into one of America's hottest reality television series. Rena Perry-Thomas spoke with the producer, who is a Grenadian, Glenda Cox.
Real Housewives Ultimate Girls Trip follows several women from the Real Housewives franchise as they vacation together on the island of Tuck and Caicos. Executive producer of the show is Grenadian Glenda N. Cox, who said she always has that burning passion to somehow expose Grenadian talent to the world. She did just that by incorporating 5 Grenadian soca artists in her latest masterpiece, Real Housewives Ultimate Girls Trip, which has been the talk of the tongue for newspapers such as the New York Vultures. Cox spoke of her plans to utilize more Grenadian talent.
I was in Grenada for the entire year until I had to come back and do the Atlanta reunion. And while I was down there, I've always thought of doing something, and I got a local crew together, and those guys were amazing. And we shot what I call a pilot for a project that I would like to pitch, throughout to see if it could get bought by by one of the streamers or one of the networks.
Cox is optimistic that her pilot production will hit the ground in 2022.
This is how it works here. You can't just shoot something and someone's going to grab it up. But everyone was amazed, the people that I've shown what we shot, and they were amazed. They thought that an American crew flew down there and shot that. But it was all local guys, local talent, and I know something's going to come of it. So hopefully next year.
The theme song for the Real Housewives Ultimate Girls Strip Show was written and sung by Hollis Mapp, Mr. Killer, making its mark on various platforms. Skinny Bantan, Ledneck, Valley Ned, and Vaughn are the remaining artists featured on the show. Here are some of the featured songs.
Oh yeah, that's what I'm talking about. We make the whole place turn over. Look at the color of this water, girl. We make our time jump together. Hello. There they are. Ladies, I want the shortest. No. In the front of me, she tell me she have a man. Hey guys. Hey. Okay, ready? Ready for an Island Zinna party. This is off the beam track, that's right.
Look, they have it. Look at this. Someone found out. Oh, the Real Housewives All-Star Vacation. They're showing her house.
Oh, what a beautiful setting.
Hello, welcome to Waimara Villa.
Wow, it's so pretty.
In other words, you could stop if you can't make the turn, to stop if you can't make the turn. Baby, I don't wanna let you go. I wanna pull you closer. Don't know, say you are my type. Somebody go out. Life is a thing you could only live once, you can never live twice. Just such is life. Just feel alive.
The Real Housewives Ultimate Girls Strip is a one-season, episode-long American reality television series that started to air on the 15th of November on Peacock and Bravo. For GBN News, I am Rena Thomas reporting.
And now let's turn our attention to what has been creating a buzz on social media. Once again, here's Rena Thomas, who has been looking around the platforms.
We present the news. You analyze the various topics and distill the issues as they unfold. Your distillation points matter as we're about to highlight them in our Social Buzz Report.
President of the Senate, Chester Humphrey, expressed his disappointment with the judicial system in Grenada, referencing the judgment delivered out to Trevinson Roberts for his crime against a 5-year-old boy. Humphrey said the judicial system has been a failure in this instance. GBN brought the story, and you, our online audience, took to the comment section to air your views. Ron Charles said, hope he knows that the matter was a summary offense in front of the magistrate. Therefore, her hands were tied. If he has a problem, take it up with the cop. When are you traveling to the U.S.? Remember, there are some unfinished business there. The young man will get what is due to him in the U.S. court, but how long can you run? Terrence Millett commented, this is not the first case that justice was not served. It's only because America Justice took up the case you hear an outcry. The justice system in Grenada is a joke. We need a complete overhaul. Everyone involved with this case should be ashamed. I thought we are a Christian nation, but why when things happen the church is silent? The mother was in so much pain. No one listened to her, but karma got him in the end. Ron Rubin wrote, so why now he talking about it? It happened so long ago. Nothing was done about it. Kutain said, he only saying this because someone do something outside of Grenada. Look what they're doing to workers and he's supporting it. Look at pandemic and killing. And finally, Dennis Joseph commented, shame on you. This was not yesterday. Why everyone keep talking now? And this is not the first time things like that happen. That's a wrap for tonight's Buzz. Continue to share your thoughts and concerns with us on our social media platforms.
According to the December 17th Coin Desk's report, the government of Grenada has announced the appointment of Justin Sun as its new ambassador and permanent representative to the WTO in Geneva. Justin Sun is thus authorized and empowered to represent the government of Grenada at meetings of the WTO. Christina John tells us more.
His Excellency Mr. Justin Sun, a leading figure in the crypto and blockchain sphere, is best known as the founder of Tron, one of the world's largest and most popular blockchain platforms. Grenada is a key member of the Caribbean Community, CARICOM, the CARICOM Single Market and Economy, the CSME, and the Organization of Eastern Caribbean States, the OECS. It is truly an honor to serve as the WTO ambassador for Grenada, says Justin Sun. I look forward to the opportunity to represent Grenada and work with WTO leadership to reinvigorate global trade in various ways, particularly the development of a robust digital economy internationally. With the appointment of His Excellency Sun as Grenada's ambassador to the WTO, the government of Grenada expects His Excellency Sun to use his contacts to promote trade, investment, and development opportunities for the country. To mitigate the economic impact of the pandemic, His Excellency Sun is expected to promote Grenada as a viable economic destination by introducing advanced tools and methods. And these changes could improve the marketing and promotion of this Caribbean country in the near future. Likewise, His Excellency Sun is expected to support the development of human resources, infrastructure, and information and communication technology for Grenada's government. He is expected to conduct himself in a manner that promotes Grenada's image at all times. Christina John, GBN News.
And now let's take a peek through the GBN ISOR lens.
A good eye captures all. GBN ISOR is brought to you by ClearVision.
Life is beautiful if only you can see it. ClearVision Eye Center helps you do just that. We provide expert service, classy eyewear, and cutting-edge technology, all with a quality customer experience. See better, feel better, and look better. Meet us today at clearvisiongrenada.com or call 444-0055, WhatsApp 409-0055, or follow us on Facebook, Instagram, and Twitter. ClearVision Eye Center. Let's see life and the world with a clear vision.
Have you ever wondered if you can eat while you are underwater? Well, luxury underwater restaurants are the most unique dining experiences in the world, and not every day you can say you ate with the fishes. It is a growing trend in the Maldives that enables diners to enjoy great food and incredible underwater views all at once. Imagine feasting on oysters amid the crystal blue waters or enjoying a cocktail with the company of a sea turtle. Well, our citizen journalist is looking forward to doing just that, as dining underwater is on their 2022 wish list. We thank our ISOR reporter for this exotic submission. Send us your photo and video submissions via WhatsApp on 405-3052 or our other social media platforms.
Are you busy during the week and have no time to go to the credit union to access your loans? Do you wish there were more days available to you? We can help. Our Loan Saturday is back by popular demand this and every Saturday at the GUT Credit Union Grandance Branch, Excel Plaza. Enjoy the peace of mind knowing that you have access to your credit union even on a weekend. So come on in and take advantage of our services every Saturday. GUT Credit Union. It's where you belong. Welcome to Voyager, your favorite home goods store. Visit us today at our upstairs branch for the best variety in curtains, bedside lamps, Christmas decor, throw pillows, blankets, bathroom sets, and so much more. Downstairs you'll find all your home good items at the best prices. We hope to see you soon.
There are those who say they care. And then there is Jedi's Pharmacy, conveniently located at the front entrance of the Brew Street Mall, right next to a Riser Credit Union. We offer premium quality products and services. And when you need us, we are there, offering you around-the-clock service, Mondays to Fridays, 7:30 to 7 p.m., Saturdays, 9 until 7 p.m., and Sundays, 10 until 2. At Jedi's Pharmacy, we show care with a beautiful smile. Call us today at 440-5342. The number again, 440-5342. Happy holidays from the management and staff of Jedi's Pharmacy.
You're already ill and have no time or energy to walk every which way to access your healthcare needs. So come to Spice Isle Imaging on the Carenage for a one-spot stop for all your health service needs. See our in-house doctor and get your meds from the pharmacy right on location. Digital X-ray, MRI, CT scans, mammography, ultrasound and laboratory services are also available. So for that moment when life makes demands on you, you can make demands on us. Visit us at Spice Isle Imaging, Carenage, St. George's.
Physical violence, controlling behavior, and being disrespectful are no-nos in any relationship. Parenting together after a breakup can be difficult, but always speak and behave in ways you would want your children to speak and act. You cannot control what your ex-partner does, but you can control how you choose to respond to your ex and what behaviors you display to your children. Parents, display behaviors you will want your children to learn. A respectful child begins with you. Step up your parenting game. My family matters.
Are you looking for quality herbs and herbal supplements, or are you thinking about having a complete body cleanse to jumpstart your health? Then no need to look further. Visit Nirvana Natural Health Clinic, Detox Center, and Natural Health Store. We carry a wide range of herbal products for kidney and gallstone cleansing, male sexual enhancement formulas, asthma and sinusitis, gas and bloating, acid reflux, constipation, arthritis, imbalanced hormones, female health issues, liver cleansing, weight loss, and so much more. Also available, colonic irrigation, holistic health consultations, essential oils, and diffusers. Look out for our online natural health store coming soon. Call 231-6642 418-7115 or 449-7753 to find out about our delivery options or to book an appointment. Visit us at Belmont St. George's, close to the Foliage, Monday to Saturday, 9 a.m. to 6 p.m. Nirvana Natural Health Clinic. Detox your way to health.
Let's get tough on breeder larceny. It will destroy our economy. Larceny threatens our food security. Can hurt us locally, hurt us globally. To all the buyers, ask for license from all produce sellers. To all the people, 300 for police for them thieving fellas. To all the farmers, don't steal produce from your brother. Then you sell it to traffickers, hotels and street vendors. Nah, man. Let's do all we can to stop breeder larceny. New vigilance, new laws, and a tough judiciary. Stop Grenada's organized business crime. It's time.
To report breeder larceny, call 300.
Running low on groceries? Why not visit realvalueiga.com and experience our new online shopping platform. Place your order, then go out and enjoy your day to spend more time with friends and family. Delivery available within select locations or in-store pickup available. Sounds simple, right? It is. Stress less, live more with Real Value IGA online store, where good food begins.
Indeed, it's Christmas. Let's all be happy. We are counting the days down, Grenada.
Let's all be merry.
don't necessarily have to count it with me. It's not going to change anything. Whether you count or you don't count, Christmas is going to come. All you had to do is just stay alive. And we'll be singing a cheerful song in just under a couple of days. The plan is because we want to be singing a cheerful song, not just for the Christmas, but as you get into the new year and as we consider the options for the rest of our lives. We want to say good morning and welcome to my guest that's joining me from the Grenada Food and Nutrition Council, the man Akim Williams. Good morning, Akim. How are you?
Good morning, Joseph. I'm doing well. How are you?
I am wonderful. I haven't seen you in quite a while.
Yes.
And when I say have quite a while, and it has nothing to do with COVID, though.
Gosh, no, it has to do with COVID.
You know, these days everybody's blaming everything on COVID, right? It has become the perfect excuse, but it's actually good to see you. It's good to see you.
Yes, please. Likewise.
Come right away, just a matter of days away. Today, Monday, next week now, so some people will probably be in slumber mode, trying to recover mode, trying to ask themselves, why did I do this? Why didn't I do that? But we're here to offer them some healthy tips and advice for the holidays. Where do we start? Where do we start?
So where do we start? And so, like you mentioned, someone once said to me that water that has fallen to the ground cannot necessarily be picked back up. So we want to first start with, before we go into that season, we really want to make some really healthy tips for the holidays. One of the things that we want to look at is at the Food and Nutrition Council, we have recently launched what is called our food-based dietary guidelines, right? And that pretty much, if you look around, if you go to your different health centers, you'll see it posted. It's a picture that includes all of the various food groups. So we really want to encourage persons, at least within the season, to vary your dishes. So yes, we know the usual thing is probably a baked chicken. Some might do baked chicken, they may do lasagna, they may do macaroni pie. But we really want to encourage persons to kind of vary the dishes, one, but we want to also focus on balanced nutrition and making sure that we portion what we're doing right.
When you say portion, though, because that is often an argument, somebody's going to ask you, how do I know what portions I should eat? And I'm assuming you can always get to that as part of the conversation as well. So we talk about
you can always get to that, but you're actually right, because portions are not standard, but we have serving sizes which are actually standard.
Right.
So that is it's a little bit tricky, but I have a picture for those on TV who sing. I can show you where we want persons to go. And I mean, as we get to the conversation, everything is going to be pretty much built on that. But it's a simple guide, and if you can see it in front of me, it's a really, really simple portion guide.
Right.
So here we have some rice and peas, if you're seeing, pretty good. And then we have some beans, and then we have some other vegetables on the other side, but we have some lean protein. So one of the major encouragement that we want to encourage persons is, especially around this season, we want to encourage persons to load up on your plate with vegetables. That is a really simple and a neat way to prevent all the pitfalls that we're going to be seeing for the season.
Right.
Coming into the new year.
Okay, so the plan is, so I saw your plate. We divided our plate into 4 quadrants. And we're saying and of course this is for the purpose of those that's on television, on radio, sorry. Right. So we take a standard size serving plate, standard size,
which is 9 inches.
9 inches, great. And you've highlighted that. Some people have some big platters that they actually want to eat. So you take a standard size serving plate and you divide it in 4. Please. So you're saying half of that needs to be vegetables, and the other half would be protein and whatever else that you have in.
Yes, please. Protein and what we call our staple foods. So that's our rice and peas, legumes which are our beans, and so we want to also include it on that portion. Right. So that can do it if you have in provision, if you have in different pies, we want to make sure that we kind of match the portions.
And I'm certain you would advise Akim that when you're doing the mixes with the legumes, let's say rice and peas, somebody said to me, it should be peas and rice, in fact. more peas and less rice.
That might be a really good suggestion, though, for real, because it's going to really help balance that fiber and everything together. It's a really good suggestion.
So it's peas and rice. Peas and rice.
Yes, please. Go ahead. Another encouragement is one of the things that we realize, and so like I would have said before, is that we've noticed around the Christmas season that a lot of the food tend to be either loaded with simple sugars. When we say simple sugars, they're free sugars, so they're not what we call as they're not yam or they're not a green banana. So they're pretty much simple sugars. So once we digest them, they don't take much time. They absorb pretty much immediately. So we have those, but we also have a lot of sodium. And we also have a lot of saturated fat. So we want to encourage persons, like we said, lean protein. So in preparing your meals for the season, we want to encourage you to strip away all that extra fat from the chicken. Wow. That would be one of the go-to messages. The second thing would be to read your labels. Read. Especially for persons with diabetes, and especially for persons in the Grenadian public and the diaspora who may have high blood pressure. Those are some areas we want you to pay particular attention to this season, because we might go and we might do some shopping, not necessarily looking at the sodium and sugar content, but we might somehow, a few hours after, the day after, test the sugar, we might realize we have a really high sugar, and we don't necessarily want that. Right. Another thing we want to encourage persons to do specifically is to make sure that you have adequate amount of medication for those of you who are on insulin, and those of you who take medication, because we want to make sure that we don't want any casualties for the season. Correct. COVID has taken enough from us, and we want to make sure that we're on a good note. All right. So
let me ask you the value added, because I'm watching my friend Alistair on social media that he's saying he's probably not the only one that he's saying that Christmas is a one time that everybody cheats. But would you agree, Akim, that it is okay to have a little bit extra, but it can be on the healthier side? Yes, it can be on the healthier side, but words are so important, and we don't want to necessarily promote the word that it's a cheat. That you're really having food, and there is nothing necessarily wrong with having food. Right. And so the encouragement is really to have the portions, but we want you to make healthier options. So it's not necessarily a cheat. If you're having cake, you're having that helps the mind. So it helps us come together, because one of the things with Christmas, we spend time with family. Right. So it helps ease discussions, that kind of a thing, and it helps bond, and it helps with love and friendship. So it's not necessarily a cheat, but it's food for a different function. My dear Alistair, all I'll say to you is, if you're having, I know you like your rice and peas, just have more peas and rice. Less rice, more peas. So buy an extra pound of green peas and throw it in there. Yes, please. Yes. And watch the sodium. We have a culture we tend to put a lot of sugar and salt. We want to really manage that, especially because at the end of the day, the old people have a saying that they say that one cocoa does for a basket. So if you put salt in the rice and peas, you put salt in the chicken, we put salt in the provision, we put salt in the pie. At the end of the day, especially if we're in a family, and this might be a big assumption, but we have a lot of persons in Grenada today who have a chronic related disease, chronic non-communicable disease. And if we're cooking, we also want to make sure that we're cooking and we're considering them and we're not leaving them out for this season. So we want to make sure that the choice that we're making, that we can include them so they can also enjoy the food. So the food doesn't have to be tasteless, it doesn't have to be bland, it can still be enjoyable. We also want to encourage persons to use your spices. So you have your cinnamon, your garlic, your clove, paprika, curry powder, ginger, and mace. Let's make really good use of that. So as we add flavor to the food, we can cut down especially the amount of sodium and the amount of added sugar that we may have to add to the food to really get that flavor that we want. And I'm assuming you would always agree that, Akim, that it would always be easier to add salt than to remove, or the same with sugar. So cook with less. Any day. Cook with less. And if you need to, then maybe you could always get less, maybe a pink salt, one of those, maybe a Himalayan salt, or one of those. Same different, cook with less, add the salt close to the end, so that we don't keep adding salt, because one of the things we don't realize is that sodium is the issue. So in salt you have sodium and chloride. So something that might be high in sodium may not necessarily taste salty. So even if your food isn't tasting salty this Christmas, it doesn't mean that it's not high in sodium. Again, ham. And I know this is going to be a kicker for a lot of us this morning. I'm going to try my best. So ham. One of the things that we know with ham is that it being processed and how it's cured is something that's called sodium nitrate. So that sodium there is what we're concerned about specifically for persons. You want to make sure that that's soaked really good.
we also want to make sure that when we cutting it, if it's salty, especially for persons with high blood pressure, we really want to make sure that we get it. If it is that you absolutely must have it, if it is that you absolutely must have ham for this season, we want to make sure that it's done right. But we also want to encourage persons ham and what we call those processed foods, so like things like bacon and sausages, and so they are purely sodium nitrates. When we eat them in the body, they convert to something that's called nitrosamines, that is a known carcinogen. So it contributes to cancer development. So I know the culture, and I have been a culprit of this for many years before coming to nutrition. Right. I would just have some bread and I would just have some ham. That's not necessarily the way to go, and it would be white bread. So with that, there is no fiber to hang on to some of those things, because what fiber does is that when we say a balance, that is really simple, because fiber has that unique ability to bind onto some of those foods, so we don't necessarily absorb it. So we eat it and it goes to the toilet. Okay. So that's one of the things. So whole grain bread may be a better option for the season, but we also want to encourage persons to have some vegetables. Fresh vegetables, because that vitamin C helps to block that action. So it's really important, and you would hear us from the council saying this from time to time. It's not about the one individual food sometimes, it's how we combine them. Going back to the plate I showed you, if we can combine foods in this unique fashion by getting those vegetables, the vegetables have those really, really protective compounds that are going to protect you and help spare you from a lot of the pain and suffering later in life.
Pain and suffering later on in life, and of course a lot of people are thinking, well, I'm going to be fine because come January I have my resolutions already figured out. Ooh. That is not often as easy as it is made, Akim, is it?
It's not, because when we go into the new year, we go with some over-ambitious plans, I would like to call it. So we jump into the new year's and automatically one might be, okay, I need to lose 50 pounds by the end of January. That's not realistic. It's not going to happen.
Right.
And so what you'll find, you may start the gym for the first 2 weeks, and when you realize, wow, this is harder than I thought, you'll jump off and you wouldn't get through the rest of the year. So as I always say to persons, start small. It is the smallest things, the very simplest things that you can do over time that have the biggest impact on your life. Not the big things, not the big decisions. So reducing sodium 1 teaspoon at a time. So our recommendation for sodium in the day is a teaspoon. So by slowly not adding it, by adding it to one less pot makes a big difference for somebody, right? Saying that you're going to go walking at least 3 times a week, or even if you do once a week and gradually increase it, that's a better place to start. As we're in New Year's resolution, I've heard this, some persons we want to look at alcohol consumption. That's a big thing, and especially within the Christmas season. I, as a youth, was a culprit of this, and so I want to encourage families, parents. We want to really educate the population. We want to build healthy and stronger families. Persons tend to overindulge in alcohol, especially within the season. It's something that we want to understand. Alcohol has its limit in moderation, so recommended drinks. 1 standard drink for women per day is the recommendation. For men, 2 standard drinks, and I'll tell you what those 2 standard drinks are. So that's go ahead.
I see the whole set of people laughing at you, boy. I see even you laughing at you. I'm just joking.
It's going to be difficult.
Right.
At the end of the day, why are we saying this? Because we're making preparation not just for now. We're not just going to live and die tomorrow.
Right.
So we're making preparation for the future, and we don't want that when we get to those older ages that we have difficulty. Healthcare is something that's very expensive. Somebody once said, if we find that the approaches to health and wellness is costly and time consuming, let's really sit and consider the cost of illness. Because for somebody who is a renal patient who may require dialysis, let's talk about $7,000 a month for dialysis. Right. Let's talk about added medications and blood work. So we really want to encourage persons, let's be conscious. So with alcohol consumption, the standard drinks is like a beer, that's 1 standard drink. If you're going to have the liquor, that's 1.5 ounces. Those small shot glass, that's a serving size, and a 5 cup of wine, give or take, would be is a serving size of wine. Now, one of the things is, I know we're concerned for this season. Alcohol is a carcinogen. So we don't want to overdo it because you may be up today and you may be down tomorrow, right? So it has the ability to significantly affect your DNA. I know we were concerned with the vaccine throughout this whole pandemic and there was a lot of concerns, but I'm saying to you, alcohol is something that can do an even greater damage to you,
right?
Especially if we overdo. So we're not saying that you can't have it. We're not saying that you can't have it, but we want to encourage moderation, especially to our men, and our men are not coming out for healthcare, so we want to make a special appeal to our men. Health is important. You support your families, and if you are not there, the family structure breaks down. So we need the men in the family. So we really want to make sure that our men pay specific attention to their health.
And I'm assuming the whole conversation of mixing alcohol with medication, that is a no-no.
That is a no-no. And even mixing alcohol with things like Red Bull or caffeinated beverages. And the reality is, what that does is that caffeine has the ability to suppress your body's response to saying, okay, I've had enough to shut off. Okay. So this can happen, and so we don't always think about this. In one sitting of overindulging, mixing that with caffeine, so you can die. That's a possibility. In one sitting to have alcohol mixed drink with caffeine in it, somebody can actually collapse and die. So it's something that we want to be conscious of, knowing what you're doing. So I think the essence for me, we're trying to encourage persons to adapt a greater level of health consciousness toward disease. Now we're saying being aware, not just going on autopilot and just going.
Right.
So just being a little more aware.
And while you're at it, I'm assuming that those are things maybe we can use while we use the new year as a way of gauging. We did touch on it briefly, yes. That maybe let's start now. It is never too late, Akim.
Let's
start now.
That's the best time. Let's start now, because the reality, if you don't start now, when?
Right.
You miss, we're big on procrastinating as a human race, and we're big on procrastinating. So I'm not in the new year. But the new year come, we may never start, or we may start, and by the end of January, or we're back to our old way, and that doesn't benefit anybody. And
it probably will be a good time because during the holiday season, we'll be doing a lot of cooking. Maybe it's a good time, and the family is going to be around as well. Maybe that's a good way, not just to get you onto the same plane, but the family as well. So encourage everybody. Listen, let's put less sugar, less salt. Yep. When the family is actually coming together, let's have that conversation collectively.
That's it. And you're 100% right. I often believe if we can get it right within the basic structure, that's the family unit. If we can get it right there, we can save Grenada, because from the community's perspective, we're out in the clinics and we've seen a lot of persons coming in newly diagnosed diabetes and newly diagnosed hypertension. And so even though we do these recommendations, the numbers are still climbing. Right. They're still climbing. So we want to encourage persons. We don't want you to commit to when you get to that place, then we have to make certain specific recommendations. And you may not be able to enjoy those foods that you may want to enjoy in the abundance now, being with a normal functioning body, with the absence of an illness. So we want to say, let's not try to get there.
And we're saying before we wrap, Akim, always know your numbers.
Always know your numbers. That's important. Whether it's weight management, whether it's high blood pressure, whether it's blood sugar, whether it's just knowing your lab values on a given day-to-day basis. You cannot manage what you don't know. So if you don't know the number, you can't know what to do. You can't know if you need to drop a little. You can't know if you need to increase. So pay attention to your numbers. That's important. Super, super important. Can't say it enough.
One before you run, though, I know there's a lot of home remedies that people use as we reach on the issue of, let's say, even where they're hypertensive or you're diabetic. Even in those cases, you have to manage the intake.
You have to manage, because you see, and this is the danger. And so from the council's perspective, we're not against home remedies, but the thing is, because we don't have a lot of research into our home remedies, and that this might be a plug for persons who in the health and the medical community who may want to consider investing in those, because we have those remedies. We don't have a lot of research. So we're not really aware of some of the negative consequences. A lot of them we see that they can significantly affect your liver and cause liver toxicity, because we don't know the amount. With medication it's different, because we've studied it, we can dose it. With herbs, we don't specifically know. So let's take garlic, for example. So I know some persons would say with the high blood pressure, they would do garlic. Right. It still be a medication. what we know that garlic does is that garlic increases the blood vessel. In doing so, the blood can pass through and it's not restricted, and that will drop the blood pressure. However, if it's not done right, imagine a balloon, you keep blowing into a balloon. Imagine what can happen. So you see, being aware is really important, and that's what we're saying. Talk to your doctor, talk to a registered herbalist. We may have registered ones with the Allied Health Council. Make sure that person is registered. Make sure that we making sure that we collaborating with healthcare. So our doctors on board and our allied health professionals on board and our holistic health professionals are on board. We need to make sure that we're on the same page.
Thanks a lot, Akim. Light information in the morning time that our minds and bodies can easily assimilate. That's how we like it.
Yes,
that's how we take it in the morning. All the best to you, Comrade. We'll definitely link up again before we end 2021. You take care.
Thank you for having me, Joseph, and season's greetings on behalf of the Food and Nutrition Council to all of your viewing and viewers and listeners. Thank you.
When you get a chance, go and give. Lichelle is on vacation.
Yes, please.
So give Lady Brown a little tap on her shoulder for me when you see her.
Will do. As soon as I get into the office.
Take care. All the best, Comrade. You take care. Happy holidays in advance. Folks, Akim Williams, some of the Grenada Food and Nutrition Council there, offering you some tips for the holidays. Continuing with the morning show, we say good morning to everyone that is online. Good morning to you Lady Williams, and everyone else. We're going over what's the plan for today as we head into St. George. We take a quick commercial break, though. When we come back, we have to give you an update as to what's happening in Port St. George. What are the plans in terms of the port of calls, ships making the calls to Port St. George today, and everything that you need to know as to what is or isn't happening in the Bruce Street Mall or the Esplanade Mall. Quick commercial break, and we'll be right back.
Rubigas, clean, safe, and reliable LPG is the perfect solution for your commercial and everyday needs. For cooking at home or barbecuing, choose Rubigas LPG cylinders. Available in a variety of sizes from 20 to 100 pound cylinders. Rubigas LPG, clean, safe, reliable. Are you cooking with Rubigas?
Get Rubis, get going.
Are you looking for quality herbs and herbal supplements? Or are you thinking about having a complete body cleanse to jumpstart your health? Then no need to look further. Visit Nirvana Natural Health Clinic, Detox Center, and Natural Health Store. We carry a wide range of herbal products for kidney and gallstone cleansing, male sexual enhancement formulas, asthma and sinusitis, gas and bloating, acid reflux, constipation, arthritis, imbalanced hormones, female health issues, liver cleansing, weight loss, and so much more. Also available, colonic irrigation, holistic health consultations, essential oils, and diffusers. Look out for our online natural health store coming soon. Call 231-6642 for 18-7115 or 449-7753 to find out about our delivery options or to book an appointment. Visit us at Belmont St. George's, close to the Foliage, Monday to Saturday, 9 a.m. to 6 p.m. Nirvana Natural Health Clinic. Detox your way to health.
Get vaxxed, hey, hey, vaccinated. Get vaxxed, hey, hey, get vaccinated. Vaccinated. So wear your mask up, wash your hands up, and practice social distance. This is we chance to advance. Come let we fight this COVID at once. So come on, let we fall in line. We want to come back to we social life. There is vaccination island wide. So come on, let we fight it to protect we and we family.
This is a message from the Grenada Red Cross and the Ministry of Health.
Introducing Color by Sissons. Color by Sissons. Color by Sissons. Color by Sissons.
already ill and have no time or energy to walk every which way to access your healthcare needs. So come to Spice Isle Imaging on the Carenage for a one-spot stop for all your health service needs. See our in-house doctor and get your meds from the pharmacy right on location. Digital X-ray, MRI, CT scans, mammography, ultrasound and laboratory services are also available. So for that moment when life makes demands on you, you can make demands on us. Visit us at Spice Isle Imaging, Carenage, St. George's.
Introducing YouTube and TikTok to the Digicel Prime Bundle. Now get 1 GB daily to enjoy more YouTube. Plus 1 GB daily to like more TikTok videos. It's simply more entertainment bundled together. Get a 7-day bundle for $35 in my Digicel. More apps, more data, more fun. Digicel, better together.
State-of-the-art Ultratech gasoline and diesel, available only at Rubis stations.
GBN Television News at 7, a pulse on all things Grenadian. Look out for our new features through expanded synergies with our media partners in Barbados, St. Lucia, Jamaica, Trinidad, and beyond. Capturing the latest in news, sports, weather, and entertainment. Credible, informative. Thank you for making us number one. News at 7, live, Monday to Friday on GBN Television, Channel 7 and 11. K105.5 and 105.9, Hot 98.5 and 98.7, GBN Television Facebook page and YouTube channel, and www.gbn.gd. GBN, with you anywhere and everywhere. The nation's capital this morning. But while you at it, I probably just need to. Where is Mr. Right? So tell me, is there expected to be another busy day in the nation's capital today? Two crews, 2 ports, 2 ships making calls to Port St. George today?
Yes, we are expecting 2 ships. And it's going to be busy, as you said, but we are prepared. We're ready for them. We're also ready for our local population to come in and shop with us this morning.
So before we get into the locals, tell me what are the two ships that are expected to make calls at Port St. George today?
We're expecting Royal Clipper and the Seaborn Odyssey.
Okay. Once they're in though, and of course that's a conversation that we've been having since the start of the season, where we're making all efforts, and I think persons should have. Some people may appreciate it, others may not. Where efforts have been made to restrict on the mixing of the locals with the visitors. That will be enforced today. Let's talk about that.
Okay, so what we do is we have entrances that are open to the general public, and those are at those streets. They open from 8 a.m. in the morning until 6 this afternoon. With regard to Esplanade Mall, we have a little bit of difference in that we are expecting the tourists to come in at about 9 or thereafter. And we open to them until 2. After that, we would reopen the mall to the general public. However, during the period that they are shopping, we allow the persons who are vaccinated to come into the mall, and that is Esplanade Mall we're talking about now, right? We allow them to come in because they are vaccinated, the tourists are vaccinated, and we allow them to go in and to do their shopping during the period that they are there.
So that's for traffic in the mall. We're gonna get back to you in just a bit, because also we want to have a conversation with Junior Checkley, who is doing our webcam for us, and he, from all indications, is headed into the Carnage area. Let's see. Good morning, Junior.
Good morning, Joseph.
How are you?
Good morning to all the listeners. I'm good.
Talk to me. Traffic headed into the town of St. George. I see you're right outside Port Authorities.
Yes, right outside the Grenada Port Authorities, and we're heading on the Victoria Carnage. And we've seen smooth flow of traffic, Joseph. Not congestion. Even when I passed through Tantine, Lotus Lane, surprisingly, there was no congestion of traffic on Lotus Lane this morning.
And I guess that's probably expected, given that school is out.
Yes. So now we are on the Carnage, and we've seen just a smooth flow of traffic into the city this morning.
Are you expecting anything different? Any build up or anything?
Yeah, there should be a build up during the course of the day, because people will be there doing their Christmas shopping during the morning to afternoon. They will have congestion to get into the town of St. George. That usually happens around Christmas time.
Well, from all indications, because I've been locked up in the studio since 5:30 this morning, it is all blue skies, isn't it?
Yes, all blue skies and beautiful sunshine, Joseph.
All blue skies. Junior, hold for me. Lady Edwards, all blue skies. An excellent day, not just for the visitors, but also not just for locals, but the visitors as well.
It is a beautiful day today, and we're expecting them to come out in their hundreds to shop. We're talking about both the locals and the visitors. So we have about 600 persons on ship today that are supposed to come out shopping. Some of them are going to go tour, and after that they will come back into the malls. We are going to make sure that by the time the locals are ready to come out, which is around 2, that's the time in the day most of them come out to shop. We are ready for them. The place is sanitized again and ready for the locals to come out.
Let me just touch on that, because that's an important point that you made. So there is a sanitization process that takes place after they've left.
Yes.
Okay. So I know persons they have actually asked those questions, and you're saying that they expected to be within the shopping from 9 to around 2 p.m.
2 p.m. we close off to them, and we sanitize, and we allow the locals to come in.
What time does the ship get in? It makes its way into port? Or is it in already?
It should be here already.
Hold on.
Based on my schedule, it should have been here already.
Junior,
I am not close to that window to see them.
Oh, hold on. Let me see if I can get my boy Junior. Junior Checkley.
Yes, Joseph.
Are you able? I need you to make a detour for me. I know.
I figured that out.
I want to see what the port looks like. We're actually doing a double this morning, so we're really getting people ready for what's happening in the streets of St. George today. The tourist is going to be in. If you can make a detour for me and go across, if we get a nice shot of the port, so at least we can see the ships that those.
With that detail.
Thank you.
Yes, I'm making the seaborne Seaborn Odyssey is in port.
What?
Wow.
Why can't I be in one of those? Junior, why do we have to be here talking to each other? We could have been on one of those ships, sipping on something and having a good time somewhere, heading somewhere.
But Joseph, it's breakfast time, so you should have been talking about having breakfast on them.
Well, we sipping anything. Once we get to going, we sipping. We ain't sure how long they will keep us on. So which one, Junior, which one is that one? Which one is that?
That's
Seaborn Odyssey.
Seaborn Odyssey. And Lady Caroline, what's the capacity of this one?
That one is 630 or 50, somewhere around there.
Okay. And the other one makes its entry when? Makes its way to Port St. George when?
At about 9.
At about 9. Junior, can you see any activities from where you are? I'm not seeing much of any. I guess everybody will still be on board, I guess.
Yeah, they're preparing, getting their briefing and everything about when they disembark the ship, what will happen. And so,
Thank you, Junior. Thank you, Junior. You've done well.
And we also see some traffic in the distance. We see the Osprey lines just coming in from Carriacou.
Osprey lines making its way in from Carriacou.
Carriacou, yes.
It's busy on the waterfront. What's happening across by the bus terminus, though? Let's go make a little peek.
Yeah, yes, we're going to make a little peek this morning.
Mm-hmm.
So just hold for me, Junior. So, Lady Caroline, so one is in already. Folks are being reminded that they can shop. That they will be shopping from 9 until 2. Thereafter, the mall is going to be sanitized and it will be open for everyone.
Yes.
And we have to remind folks though that in all of that though, that the Bruce Street side of the mall.
The Bruce Street Mall. Yes.
It is open and accessible from different points, correct?
Yes. You have 4 entrance points, to the Bruce Street Mall. So persons are able to enter through the car park. There are 2 entrances on that area and 2 to the front of Bruce Street, which is from the tunnel on that street there.
And you can enter from the car park, that's your Rise car park, or from the tunnel.
Yes.
And certainly, for those of you who probably use the washroom facilities, yes, it is accessible at any time of the day. If the tourists are there, you just have to access it through the Bruce Street Mall side. And that, listen, and there's so much that happens over there that a lot of people doesn't even realize. Hotspot is there, lotto, this, that, everything else that you barbershop, doctor's office, everything that you need on the other side.
Yes, and before we go off that, Joseph, I just want to remind persons that there are lots of bargains going on. Duty Free Caribbean, Colombian Emeralds, they have huge discounts. Yes. Also, Diamonds Intercontinental, Sky Duty Free, a lot of perfumes and fragrances are available in those stores. So come on over and get your shopping done. There's so much to be had in the Bruce Street Mall as well.
Indeed. So much folks go down there and do your shopping. Before we go to Junior, talk to me, Junior.
Yeah, just outside the bus terminal, Joseph, and we've seen that there is not congestion, but traffic with both vehicular traffic and pedestrians, people getting into town to do their shopping or to go to work.
Mm-hmm.
And we are seeing already the presence of the Royal Grenada police force.
Yes.
And it is good because it's a Yuletide season. We do expect to see a greater presence of persons as they make their way into St. George. Junior, advice. I know you always do your holiday shopping, but before you tell me about your holiday shopping, Lady Caroline, what word of advice would you offer for holiday shoppers, both in the mall and outside the mall?
Well, I would want everybody to come to the mall to shop because there's just about everything that they can think about that they can find here. For me, I love shopping here because of the variety. So everybody else can do like me and come to the mall and shop. And you know what? The mall is beautifully decorated. So while you're shopping, you can do your tagging of your photos for your friends and family overseas. There's so many areas that you can take your photos and send across the seas to your friends, to your family, to your loved ones. Let them know what's happening in Grenada.
Indeed. Thank you, Lady Edwards. All the best to you. And I hope, of course, you
Thank you so
have
much.
a great day. Junior, I see you've
Have a nice day.
Thank you. Junior, you've made a turn. Where are you heading to now before I leave you?
I'm going back into town. I got some business to do in town.
Yes.
Not shopping, Joseph, not shopping.
I was just about to ask you who you're shopping for.
No.
Anyway, comrade, what's the plan? What's the plan?
What's the plan?
For the holidays or just school?
For just school is just to relax and get some rest, because come January, the plan is to give out 70 food hampers all over the island of Grenada, at least 10 in every parish, including Carriacou and Petit Martinique. And we have people both locally and internationally sponsoring those food hampers, which will be valued at 100 EC. So come January, I rest for Christmas, so come January, we'll be very active. 70 food hampers distributing all over the island of Grenada.
Excellent.
And if people want to become a sponsor, they can contact Just School.
Sounds like a plan, doing your part, and I really appreciate it. All the best to you, Junior. You take care.
Okay. Have yourselves a wonderful Monday.
Take care. Well, folks, we gotta leave it for now. We went a few minutes overboard, but all good things come to an end. Indeed, it was a pleasure being here with you. I want to say good morning, and good morning to all those of you that's online: Selvina Charles, Yulin Alexander, Lady Williams, Kipling, Warwood, everybody that's there. Indeed, it was a pleasure being here with you. Until then, so long, everybody. JC loves you. Keep doing what you have to do. Keep safe for the holidays. And yes, manage the portions as well. If you, of course, you have to top up on your medications, make sure that you do that. As you access, you go to the different pharmacies across the Tri-Island State. Until then, so long, everybody. JC loves you. We join the BBC now for a bulletin of news.